What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo HOU Houston Texans podcast. My name is Noah Outlaw. I am one of your hosts, as always, and as always, I'm here with Garrett Harrelson. What's up, brother?
Hey, man.
What's
How's
up,
it going? How's it going? Hey, you look, you're looking sharp today, man.
Hey, likewise.
Give me a twirl, baby. Give me a twirl. Give me a twirl. That's right. What does that say right there?
Ooh, I can't do a full twirl.
Wow. That's fine. You did a good enough. Yeah, it was fine.
I tried my best for you, but
hey, you look like you're getting ready for something.
Oh, what do you think I'm getting ready for, buddy?
Sheesh, I have a few guesses. You have a bit. The weekend's coming up, and there's one important thing that we have circled on the calendar,
buddy.
Houston
Texans, man. The Houston Texans are
back.
This Sunday, noon kickoff, Central Time. Feels right. Texans Colts Week 1 matchup. It's the regular season. It's finally here. It's our very first Texans preview of the season. That's not a preseason game. This is the real deal.
Welcome back, everyone. Hey, welcome back, everyone.
Yeah.
We fucking did it, dude. We are back, and it didn't feel that long of an off season. It kind of like there's a lot of good things, a lot of acquisitions and shit that was just kind of kept it fresh, kept it good, but it got here quick, in my opinion, and that was exactly what I wanted. Because this offseason, I was like, God, I just want it to be autumn. I want it to be September, buddy.
Yeah,
I was just waiting. Finally, we're here.
After last season was such a pleasant surprise, and CJ Stroud doing what he did, Tank Dell doing what he did, Nico doing what he did, the Texans as a whole, everything. But last season there was this caveat of like the whole time through all the success, it was like, wow, this is incredible. We probably have somewhat of a ceiling this year, but when we get to next year and after a round of free agency and after another draft and just a CJ Stroud second year, Tank second year, everybody just with another year under their belt, this team's the sky's the limit. And I even think last year, watching them do everything and having such an amazing season, we were just kind of thinking about that next step in the back of our head. We're like, this team is incredible for the future, and the future is here. The second year for CJ Stroud is finally here. The year where, like, really quarterbacks take a step or they have a slump. But historically, like quarterbacks in their second year that have had a solid rookie season, and guys like CJ, that second year is incredible. And we're right here getting ready for it. And CJ Stroud people think he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't think anyone would say he's not top 10 at the minimum. And we just have the Texans have a lot of hype. This is probably the most hype the Texans have had going into a season in franchise history.
By far.
Yeah.
By far. I've never seen media hype. You turn on NFL Network, they're probably talking about the Texans. CJ Stroud's there's probably footage of him like airing it out at practice or something, and like Ryan Clark is like on the sideline of the Texans practice, like talking about it. There's just so much media coverage, media hype. CJ and Tank and all them on the podcasts, people clipping them. CJ Stroud is so beloved. He is so beloved in the NFL community. Everyone loves CJ Stroud. They're rooting for him. And I mean, it's hard not to, because the coaches were talking about this. CJ Stroud is basically Tom Brady in the sense of he is like, bro, he fucking like he doesn't bully people, but he's in charge of people in the offense.
Yeah.
He'll question you and be like, oh, hey, this Sunday, what's the game plan? Or like, this Sunday, what's your job? Or hey, look up this film right here. What are you doing wrong? Like, he's like being a coach.
He's a leader. Yeah. And he holds the team accountable. Yeah. And that's what his job is as a leader of this team and as the quarterback of the Texans. So
I've never seen anything like, well, I have seen quarterbacks do this, but not on the Texans. I've never seen a Texans quarterback get in there so talented already and then just be like, oh, this is my team. And then we just go, okay, yes, sir. We are in your team. Yeah. Take us under your wing and just take us as far as you can. And he is, we'll see how far he can take us. I think it's pretty far, but it's CJ's team all the way. I've never seen anything quite like, I'm not used to this kind of feeling.
I haven't, and you mentioned that, and it's like, it's not like this is the first time we've had a rookie quarterback that's pretty good, right? But it feels a lot different than Deshaun Watson's era. The team feels different, and obviously, fuck that guy. Like I'll say it, I'll say it. But it's like the thing is with him, he never felt. We knew he was a really talented football player, but he didn't really ever feel like a leader by any means. He just seemed like he was one of the guys, right? And we had D-Hop still, and we had JJ on those teams. But there was but on this team, CJ wasted no time just becoming the vocal leader, the guy that everyone looks to, the guy who's in charge, and when he's in charge, everyone feels comfortable. And everyone goes, this guy, we fully trust in him. I just remember Brevin Jordan had a quote last year, and it was like after a big win. I don't remember which game, maybe the Saints game. And they asked him about CJ, and he said, look, man, whatever 7 does, we follow. That's what he said. And it was like, yeah, man, that's just how it is. And everyone just knows who the leader is. And I don't think the Texans can be in better hands. I just don't know. I just can't even believe it. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, no, I'm in shock. I'm still waiting for some bullshit to happen because that's how it is as a Texans fan, some bullshit. Yeah. But I don't think that's the case. I think finally we've, like similar to the Detroit Lions the past few seasons, they obviously had a lot of problems for the last 2 decades. A lot of bad seasons, a lot of bad, a lot of mismanagement, a lot of front office blunders, all this type of shit. But then they finally got a few pieces, got a trade to help them out, a few pieces, a few building blocks, and then got a coach in there, and they're just like blocks. Yeah. And now they're, in my opinion, they're probably the best team in the NFC on paper. So I mean, it's not looking like, oh, the Detroit Lions when they ultimately fail this year, or oh, they're going to Lions it up. It doesn't feel like that, and that's why I'm like, the Texans have the same type of vibe going. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any reason to think that we'll fail or slump or disappoint. We're only just getting better, only going up. Finally, we're just everything around the organization. It feels warm and comfortable right now.
Yeah, it does.
I never felt like that.
No, never. And it's a good feeling to have. It's a really good feeling to trust your franchise to do the right thing, and just be winners. It's never been the thought process of being a Texans fan. It's like, yeah, I'm a fan of winners. It hasn't been that way, and now it is. Now, and that is our reality. Sitting here we're recording on Thursday, September 5th. Tonight, the Ravens and the Chiefs kick off the season. I know me and you are going to be sitting there right at game time, just probably popcorn, a couple brews, maybe a Big City wings, pounding some wings and pounding some Millers or whatever we're doing. Absolutely. And we're getting ready, and it's kicking off. And this Sunday, obviously, Texans go into Indianapolis to take on divisional rivals, the Colts. Fuck the Colts. Let's get that out of the way.
Oh yeah, I mean, I obviously respect the Colts the most in our division.
Yeah,
because they actually do things right, and they have shit to talk about. That's cool. They have a Super Bowl. I've seen them win a Super Bowl, but fuck the Colts.
But still, fuck the Colts.
Yeah, fuck the Colts. No.
I can have respect for you, but be like, fuck them.
No,
yeah. So into Indianapolis, the Texans, Colts, CJ Stroud versus Anthony Richardson, which we did get a preview at week 2 of last year. Anthony Richardson obviously missing most of his rookie year. In that last matchup against Anthony Richardson, the Texans, he handled the Texans while he was out there on the field. He ended up getting hurt, and Gardner came in after that. But to start off the game, Anthony Richardson had 2 rushing touchdowns, I think in the first 5 minutes of the game.
There was like a situation where he rushed for a touchdown opening drive, and then I think we turned it over on downs or something. Yeah. And then he came immediately right back and rushed for another touchdown. And I was like, is this guy just going to rush for 8 touchdowns against us? What the fuck? And then obviously he got injured. I just think the Texans had a problem last year against rushing quarterbacks. Lamar kind of had his shit against us in the playoffs. Kyler, we even kind of struggled against the Cardinals because of Kyler. I feel like mobile quarterbacks we had a problem with last year.
Yeah.
And Anthony Richardson obviously took advantage of that in the first few drives that he was in against us, and he looked pretty good. Against us.
Yeah. But also, he looked good, and I have respect for Anthony Richardson. I think I'm extremely interested to see how his season ends up going. But the thing is that game, that week 2 matchup against the Colts last year, that was the last game before the Texans became the Texans.
Yeah.
Really, week 3 against Jacksonville is when the wheel started turning, and everyone was like, "Oh, wait! They're doing something special." We ended up beating Jacksonville week 3, I think 37-21, maybe.
Some shit, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm not going to give a ton of. I'm not going to put a lot into that week 2 matchup last year, just because everyone. We weren't the Texans yet. We were still learning, and D'Amico was still figuring stuff out. And then, but right after that game is when we turned on the Jets, and then obviously we played them week 18 last year to get into the playoffs. It was basically a playoff game, and inch that one out. I mean, that one was a barn burner and a nail biter to the end. But I just don't think Anthony Richardson against the Texans. He hasn't played against this Texans team. He played against the beginning looks of it in week 2, but he hasn't played this Texans team.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like you're talking about. It's night and day compared to where we were week 2 of last season.
Yeah.
And you're right. That was before the Texans became the 2023 Texans. Everything was new to us. The only thing was CJ Stroud had a really good game that game. And you could say, oh, they had no run game. Oh, garbage time yards. But he was making throws over the middle. I was like, wait. He has 380 yards and 2 touchdowns and no picks as a rookie. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and then after that, I think CJ and I think the team rallied around CJ, and then obviously CJ carried after that.
Sure. Yeah.
But this year we have a different outlook, different team, different defense, different receivers. This looks like a different team completely. I think Cody Stutes said something he tweeted something from John McClain saying we have 8 or 9 new starters compared to week 18 from last year. We kind of overhauled our team, but just we're instead of replace plugging in players and shit, we're just upgrade. So it's going to be interesting to see how Anthony Richardson navigates around this roster, because I mean, it's a stacked fucking roster, and we've talked about it. Anthony Richardson has a pretty high ceiling. I think we both know that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a matter of will he? I mean, how will Anthony Richardson? I think that, I mean, obviously the outcome of this game will be Anthony Richardson. How will he look against our defense?
I think, and I think going into this game, I think with Anthony Richardson basically going into his rookie year still, I mean, this is basically his rookie year. I think that one of the keys to this game, and I think this is probably pretty obvious, I think one of the keys of this game is to eliminate him in the run game. If you can eliminate Anthony Richardson in the run game, don't let him use his legs like he did last year in the short time he played against the Texans in week 2. If you don't let him run all over us and force him to throw, it's going to be a cakewalk, because I don't care. We don't know. Anthony Richardson has some accuracy issues. He's not the best thrower of the football. He's just a really good athlete. He can make some throws, but he's not the best thrower of the football, especially from his quarterback class.
No,
now,
he's not a pure passer. No.
You add someone who isn't the best thrower of the football. You put him up against guys like Derek Stingley and Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie and Kamari Lassiter and even Azeez Al-Shaair in coverage. Yeah, no, sorry.
I think we're gonna defensive. I think secondary will look pretty good against Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna if the Colts somehow do make this a barn burner, it's because of his legs, and it's also because of Jonathan Taylor, who we've had issues against Jonathan Taylor. But through the air, I just don't see him carving us up through the air. I don't know what his passing line is on Prize Picks. Shout out Prize Picks. Use code Apollo. I don't know what his line is, but it can't be that high. And I think people are expecting him. All right. I don't want to talk too much shit about Anthony Richardson because he seems like such a good dude.
Yeah.
But he was against the Bills, not the Bills, the Bengals in the preseason. When he got extended action, a few drives.
Yeah.
Dude, he looked ass. He looked like his just throwing motion looked bad. He was just sidearming it because of I don't know. I'm looking at his shoulder I'm like, it doesn't look like your mechanics are there yet.
No.
His footwork is completely off. Like
Yeah.
his feet are always pointed towards the middle of the field and not at the receivers, causing just like airmailing it or throwing it behind them and shit.
Right.
His mechanics are just completely off. And with this Texans team, they're going to be the ones to take advantage of quarterbacks who have mechanical issues. You know, they're smart dog defense, gritty grinders, Texans swarm.
Yeah.
You know, so they're gonna. I expect a few picks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart to expect picks. If you are a betting person, you can go over to Prize Picks or go to wherever you do your sports picks, for the week. And definitely, I think more on interceptions is not a bad pick. I don't for Anthony Richardson, I should say. Now his line for passing yards is 226.5.
Yeah, see, that's pretty low.
Smash that less.
Really?
That less. Yeah. I don't see that. I think if he has success this game, it's going to be with his legs. I just don't see him coming in week one and really, because also offenses historically in week one are slower to start and defenses are ready to go. So Anthony Richardson obviously coming in with very little to none experience in the NFL, maybe three total games of experience in the NFL under his belt, regular season games. I just don't think he's going to be ready to slice and dice a defense, especially like the Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryan's defense with Sting and Kamari and everyone else.
It's extremely fair. I mean, it's extremely fair, especially against a pass rush like this. As long as our pass rush, that's going to be one of our big city keys to the game. I just made that up just now. One of our big city keys to the game is pass rush. If those Colts O-line, pretty good. Pretty good. Quentin Nelson, got other guys that are there that can move people, movers and shakers. And also, Shane Steichen, good coach, knows how to eliminate people on the field. Kind of like other really smart coaches. I think he's a very smart coach. Pass rush, he really needs to step up. Just cause havoc. Make Anthony Richardson's life for 3 hours hell. Make it hell for him for 3 hours. And then after that, it's fine. Just shake his hand, whatever. He's a cool guy. But for 3 hours, between the numbers, between the white lines, we need to fucking get after him. Dude.
On the gridiron, he's your enemy.
Off the gridiron, nice guy. On the gridiron, kill him, dude. Yeah. We need to make him scared because that's going to cause the interceptions. That's going to cause the inaccurate passes. Yeah. And that's how we win. Pass rush is how we win this game. So
I agree. And you bring up an interesting point. I mean, this is a really good offensive line that the Colts have. It's kind of been just their strong suit forever in a weird way. I feel like they've always just had a really damn good offensive line, and at least in recent memory. And so
not with Andrew Luck, but
with Andrew Luck, that's true. That's very true. They're having that man killed. But thing is, in the past, recent memory, it's always been pretty damn good. And obviously, you mentioned Quentin Nelson. They got dogs on that offensive line. It's going to be a really interesting matchup to see Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson and this new defensive front for the Texans that has so much hype against a really good offensive line. Let me ask you, if you were on Prize Picks, all right, and you were going to bet on sacks for the Houston Texans, if you had to bet on one player getting a sack this week, only one. Now, I know there might be multiple, but who are you picking? Who do you think comes out the gate?
Danielle Hunter.
Danielle Hunter?
I think he gets the first sack of the season.
I think so, too. I
think Will Anderson is going to demand a double team because Will Anderson is just – he's a beast.
He's a problem.
Danielle Hunter is also a beast. I think Danielle Hunter might have 2 sacks this week.
Yeah.
He might have 2 sacks this week because Danielle Hunter, you're just trying to pass protect against 2 monsters. 2 monsters who might need to be doubled. Both of them need to be doubled. And you can't do that. No. You can't fucking do that at all.
That's the problem, right? That's what teams are going to have to figure out. How do you handle both of them? And then also, how also do you handle the interior defensive linemen? Especially when, Foley and Mario, the 2 starters up in the defensive tackle right now, they're good players. And they're going to feast because of who's on the outside.
Yeah,
And then when Danico Autry gets back from suspension, I don't know what do you do?
Yeah, the Danico Autry suspension stung a little bit because it's like, yo, this guy would wreak havoc up the middle of the interior offensive line with Daniil and Will Anderson Jr. just like going after the quarterback. You free up Danico Autry. I don't even know you have the center block him. I don't know what you do.
But you're gonna go one-on-one with one-on-one with Danico. That ain't gonna work.
No, man, he'll get around you. Good luck with
easily.
That. So yeah, I mean I don't know what teams are going to do. I don't know what teams are going to be doing. Like they're going to have to really, really game plan. Yeah. Which I will say, Shane Steichen is one of the guys to be able to game plan against a pass rush like this. Last year, our pass rush maybe it wasn't very good against the Colts, but also sometimes it was like Jonathan Grenard would be out, or Will Anderson will be out, or he's kind of injured or something.
Yeah.
This year, I don't know if you checked the. By the way, I don't know if you checked the health report, the injury report. There's only one person on there. Clean injury report.
Really?
It's just MJ Stewart, who did not practice, I think, due to a knee injury.
Nice.
Everyone else, full on practice.
Incredible.
Not a single other person on the injury report. So that's awesome. That is huge to start off the year with. Other than obviously Christian Harris being on the IR, that sucks. But
yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, but
that's amazing.
Hey, one of the keys of the game, pass rush. You know, obviously obviously a few other keys of the game. Look at the jersey you're wearing. Noah, what do you expect from CJ Stroud this game and the offense?
It's really so I've been thinking about this, right? I've been thinking about what's a realistic expectation for CJ Stroud week 1. Like I said, like I mentioned a minute ago, offenses start slow, but slow for CJ Stroud is still fast. So the thing is, CJ Stroud's passing line is, at least at the one I just looked at, was 277.5. I think he hits that over, which is a high line, by the way. That's crazy.
That is a kind of a crazy line for week 1. That's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. But I just think we come out firing on all cylinders. I think CJ throws for at least 280, which is just a little bit more than that line. But I think I could see CJ throwing for 280 at the minimum. I could see him also really getting over 300. I could see him really getting like 305. And I think he has 3 touchdowns.
I mean, I was talking about this with our buddy Jerry.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Jerry. Last night. I was like, there's no reason to think, because last year just CJ Stroud was in a rhythm pretty much every week in and week out, in a rhythm with the offense. Good game. Oh, he's just doing well. He's a good quarterback, obviously.
Yeah.
Then we got acquisitions. We got Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, some new guys, basically a new look offense. And I was thinking, are they going to keep the same rhythm, the same groove? Steelers and Giants preseason games. I know the preseason games, but they looked just like in rhythm. Driving down the field. You can't stop us. You know, Dalton Schultz is right there. Oh, Stephon Diggs for 9 yards. Mm-hmm. Oh, hand it off to Joe Mixon or Damian Pierce, whatever. You know, get a few yards. Like you couldn't stop them. And I was like, I really don't think they're going to have any hitches week 1. I think they're going to go into week 1 ready to move the ball on offense. Yeah. Well, ready to move the ball.
And what I was so excited about, what you mentioned, watching them in the preseason, and I mentioned this on Off the Gridiron a few episodes ago, but they were all doing the exact things that we expect from them too. Like Nico was getting the yak. Tank was slipping through defenders. Obviously on that touchdown, I think against Pittsburgh. Yeah, against Pittsburgh. Yeah. He was slippery, and that's what we know about Tank. He's just quick. He's agile. His route running's incredible, and you just can't get a hand on him. And he did that. And then we have Stephon Diggs on his reception, just hitting that slant route immediately and making the defender look goofy. Just shitting on him. And that's what Stephon Diggs, when it comes to those slants and his route running, Tank from being slippery and just not being able to get a hand on him. And then Nico Collins, getting hit, staying on his feet, getting yak for an extra, not just 3 or 4 yards, like 10 more yards. Like that's what we expect from these 3 guys. And this is why it's such a big deal that they're all on the same team together, because they all have attributes that benefit each other in so many different ways. And then you mentioned Schultz, and Schultze's just a pure tight end, right? Schultze is just there. He's a safety blanket for CJ. And then CJ, when you have those guys, those weapons, and then when you have a quarterback like CJ who can put a ball anywhere he wants at any moment, just exactly where it needs to be, it's an unstoppable combination. And I don't see a world this year where CJ Stroud throws I don't know. CJ Stroud's going to have just an insane year. We've been talking about 2013 Peyton Manning on Play Action Takes. I don't know. Is he going to throw for 6,000 yards this year? It's one more game than Peyton had. Peyton had 16. CJ has 17. Like,
this is your clip right here. This is your clip right here. 2013 Denver Broncos. Me and Noah came up with how similar we are. Maybe just out of pure manic energy. Maybe just out of pure insanity because we are insane people.
Yeah.
But this is the 2013 Denver Broncos with the second year that we have our star quarterback, defensive-minded head coach who is pretty smart. John Fox back in the day was pretty solid. You know, I think Stephon is equal to Demaryius Thomas, the savvy veteran who is rest in peace, who was a baller on the field. Eric Decker is Nico Collins, big body receiver who can just catch contested passes, has like 1,200 yards. People forget how good Eric Decker was.
Yeah, he was incredible.
With the Broncos. Tank Dell is that shifty little slot receiver like Wes Welker, who's going to get open. No Sean Moreno, Joe Mixon, similar how they're going to have target share with, or have touch the ball with runs and also he's going to be very dependent. It's very dependent on the screen game. We're gonna have a lot of screens with Joe Mixon. Champ Bailey, 24. Derek Stingley, 24. Von Miller is second year with Von Miller, actually third year with Von Miller, second year Will Anderson Jr. We had Shaq Barrett, other veteran who can get after the pass. There's just so many. And then the Broncos lost to in 2012, lost to the Ravens in the divisional round, came back, added
your mic came undone.
Is it good?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay,
you got too passionate.
I got very passionate on that. But they lost to the Ravens, the divisional round, 2012. Came back next year, went to the Super Bowl. I'm just seeing a lot of similarities with the vibes and the offense and the defense and the coaching. I think we're going to the Super Bowl because of that reason. Yeah. I'm an insane person.
You heard it here first. The Houston Texans. The 2024 Houston Texans are the 2013 Denver Broncos.
They are them. Yeah. They are. That's exactly who they are. And CJ is throwing for 5,000 yards, maybe close to 50, maybe like 48 touchdowns.
Yeah, dude. Peyton Manning's numbers that year were fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know.
5,500 yards and 5,500 yards, 55 touchdowns, I think, in 10 picks.
It's a crazy year.
That's one ridiculous. Of the greatest. That's insane.
It's tough. It will be tough to say that CJ can have that year, but he can't have that year. I think he could.
He's capable. Yeah. I know he's capable of it.
So what I expect from CJ this game is 300 something yards. He already said in a press conference their goal is to avoid a slow start like they did last year, starting out 0-2. Yeah, they could have had 12 games if they just won those games. They just want to have their foot in the gas right off the rip. So I think he's gonna have 300 yards, 2 touchdowns at the minimum. The first touchdown scored this season will be Tank Dell. Tank Dell is catching that first touchdown of the season. He's going to have the first touchdown this year for the Houston Texans.
I think so too.
And then I think Stephon Diggs will have a touchdown. I think Nico will have a lot of yards.
Yeah. I think Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell both catch touchdowns in this game. I think Joe Mixon could also get one. I could see that happening. I don't know if I'd bet on it, but I
can
think
see him having a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, rushing. Not a. He's not going to catch a pass, but I think he can get a rushing touchdown. I'm like we're down on the 4, and he gets in there. Yeah, I don't know, but I agree. I think Tank's going to get one. I think CJ Stroud has over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns to start off the season. I think the Texans, and we'll get your final score prediction because that's how we end these previews. Haven't done this in a while, but I think my final score prediction for this game is 31-10 Texans.
31-10.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Okay, mine was a little closer. Final score prediction for me: Texans win. Obviously, I think Texans are just the better team right now. Colts will start off slowly with a rookie quarterback, essentially.
Yeah.
I think final score 27-20. Texans. Texans cover. Texans money line. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, I think that's the final score. I think maybe the Colts trying to make it interesting at the end. Maybe Anthony Richardson does have more than 220 yards passing because he's just airing it out in the fourth quarter. Makes it 27-20. But Texans are, I mean, they're running away with it.
Yeah.
Start off the season strong, baby. 1-0. 1-0.
1-0, baby. All right. That's it. Texans, Colts coming up this Sunday. Guys, whoever's listening, Texans fans, it's time. It's time. Go tonight. Go enjoy Chiefs Ravens.
Game.
Or I don't know if this is coming out tomorrow or whenever this comes out, but hopefully you enjoyed Chiefs Ravens if it's already been on. And I bet the Chiefs won. And just get ready for Sunday. Hey, get your favorite jersey out, steam it, iron your pants, put your favorite shoes on, go to your favorite spot, get your favorite people, and go enjoy the beginning of this magic season.
You should be going to Big City Wings. That's where you should be going.
Yeah.
Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. Just go there, have a few appetizers, a few beers. Get there before game time because you want to have at least 2 beers. You want to be at least 2 beers in.
Yeah.
Before the game starts. That's the sweet spot right there, baby. Mm-hmm. So head on over if you're in the Houston area, head on over to Big City Wings because that's one of the best ball watching spots known to man. So thank you, Big City Wings thank you to Big City Wings for powering this episode of Off the Gridiron.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. Shout out Big City Wings. I'm obviously up in New York, we don't have Big City Wings, so I have to pick my second option. And there's this place down the street where they do bottomless brunch until the end of the game. And so I sit there for whatever they charge, and usually by fourth quarter, I'm about 9 Bloody Marys deep.
Yeah, I'm about are you going to be fighting people or what?
I might. If the Texans somehow lose, I will fight someone in the street.
Now listen, can't be upset about a loss week 1.
No,
I know. We were like, oh, we're very hyped about this year, but hey, I've seen the Texans make the playoffs starting 0-3 before. Yeah. Okay, so no. Don't fret. Don't fret if we lose.
Yeah,
I don't think we will lose. So suck on that.
I don't see a world where we lose, but if we do, it's week 1. It's a tough start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's everyone's kind of waking up a little bit and just getting back in the groove of things. Anything can happen week 1. So, the Chiefs lost last year week 1, and look what they did. Exactly.
Yeah. Anything happen week 1, baby.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. All that good stuff lets us know you like what we're doing. Guys, give us your final score predictions and just your hot takes for the game. Is CJ Stroud going to have 5 touchdowns? Is Daniil Hunter going to have 3 sacks? Is Derek Stingley going to have 4 picks? What is it? Let me know. Let us know down in the comments. We're really interested to hear what y'all have to say. Follow us on Twitter at Apollo Texans and Apollo HOU to keep up with the Texans and all Houston sports in general, and on Instagram as well. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later.
Watch Texans. Go Texans.
Back in my bag and I got